Hello everybody, welcome to the YogaCandi YouTube channel. My name's Candace and today I have an all levels creative morning stretch. So there's going to be a little bit of power, but it's mostly going to be about stretching out the body from an achy night. Maybe you've woken up feeling a bit achy, maybe you didn't sleep that amazing. It's just going to be a fairly gentle creative flow today. So we're going to start off on hands and knees in our tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, hug belly button back. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch, tucking the chin and the tailbone. Let's take 3 of these cat cows. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, arch. 2 more. Inhale, dropping the belly. Exhale, arch. 1 more. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, arch. Turn your fingertips to face your knees with the thumbs on the outside edges of the hands. Bend your elbows and start to find some small circles in one direction and then in the opposite direction. Take your hands back so your fingers are facing forwards. Extend through the hands, look forwards. Send your tailbone to the sky and bring your forehead between your arms down to the ground. Try to keep your hips in line with your knees here and hug your belly button back. Breathing into a puppy pose. Start to slide your fingertips back towards your shoulders, coming into your tabletop position. Inhale, right hand up to the sky, look up. Thread it underneath the left, coming down to the shoulder and look to the sky. Lifting your left hand, or you can keep it on the ground. You can place it on your bum, or you can get deeper into the stretch by taking this left hand. This is only if you're more flexible, over towards the right edge of the mat. Just scooch your hips more towards the right, keeping your hips in line with your knees. And this left hand can be on the floor, on your bum, or all the way across to the right side of the mat. Breathing into this lovely twist. Keep your breath nice and deep in and out of the nostrils. And release, place the left hand back on the ground. Inhale the right arm to the sky, look up. And finding a big shoulder circle. So just taking big circles with this right hand up and over your head in one direction and then in the opposite direction. And back to tabletop. Take 1 cat-cow in between. Inhale, dropping the belly, big inhale. Exhale, arch. Inhale the left arm to the sky, look up. And thread it underneath the right, coming down to the shoulder, look up to the sky. Taking this right hand to your bum, or you can keep it placed on the floor, or you can take it up and over the head and walk it to the very left edge of your mat. Scoot your hips slightly to the left, keeping them in line with your knees. And breathe deep. Back to tabletop. Inhale this left arm up and over your ear, taking those big shoulder circles in one direction. And in the opposite direction. One more. Back to your tabletop. Now we're going to hover the knees, so hug your belly button back, hands in line with the shoulders, and just hover your knees off the floor so you've got your toes tucked. Holding this and breathing deep, strengthening the shoulders and the core. Release the legs, walk your hands a little forward, coming into a plank pose. Find a rocking motion back and forth. And then slowly send your tailbone up to the sky for your downward facing dog. Hands in line with shoulders, feet in line with hips, sending that tailbone, feet hip distance apart. Hands shoulder distance apart, tailbone facing the sky, hugging the belly button back. Gaze between the legs and breathe deep. Lift your right leg and step it to the outside edge of your right hand into sort of a runner's lunge, but this is more of a lizard pose. So we've got a slight hip opener and then also a stretch down the psoas muscle on the left side. And just start to find a little rocking motion if that feels good. Or you can just stay still. You can stay up on your fingertips, on your palms, and if you're very, very flexible in the hips and in the legs, you can always come all the way down to your forearms. But be where you're comfortable today. If you want to warm up a little more, start to bounce the hips up and down. And now take a big step with the left foot, take it to the outside edge of the left hand. And start to straighten your legs or keep a bend as much as you want. And hang heavy like a rag doll. Taking a grip of each elbow and just rocking from side to side. You can bend your knees as much as you need to here. Or keeping them straight if you feel ready for that. Just rock from one leg to the other, maybe even creating a figure eight with the arms. Taking the hands to the feet or the shins, look forward, inhale. And then take your hands to the outside edges of your body. Just extend them like an aeroplane. Hug your belly button back and look at the floor. And fold. Halfway lift, taking the arms to the outside edges of the body. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Just looking directly at the floor. We're going to do this one more time. Exhale, fold. And inhale, lift. Taking the aeroplane arms. Hug your belly button back. Fold one more time. Plant your hands on the ground and send your hips down towards the floor. Take your feet so that your toes are facing outwards and your heels are facing inwards. Coming down for our Yogi Squat. If you're a total beginner, grab a block, a yoga block, and you can always sit on a yoga block. But if it's accessible, just sink your hips as low as they can go, using your elbows to push your knees apart, hands in the center at prayer, opening up through the hip flexors. Keep your spine nice and long and tall. Now place your hands back on the ground and step your right leg back. So we're going into lizard pose on the other side this time. So your left foot is on the outside edge of your left hand. And you can find a little rocking motion back and forth. You can bounce with the hips, play around and do what feels good here for you. Remember, you can always come down to the forearms if you'd like to, if that's accessible. One more deep breath here in your lizard. Stepping back to plank, downward facing dog, but keep that left leg lifted and then plant it down just for a second. Taking a little walk in your down dog. Becoming still, taking 3 deep breaths, looking between the legs. Lift the right leg, look forwards and step it between your hands as far forward as you can possibly step it. So we're coming in for a low lunge this time. So from here, with your hands on the floor, your fingertips on the floor, slowly bend the back knee and bring it down to the mat. You can take your hands to your front knee if you need to come up higher. The closer the back knee is to the front heel, the easier the stretch will be. So be where you are today and just sink low. Start to give in to gravity as your body opens up for you. If this is feeling really good, but you're a little more intermediate, you can always lift the back toes and grab them with your right hand, pulling them closer towards your bum. Getting deeper into the psoas and into the quad. Now sending the hips backwards, straighten the front leg and have the toes facing the sky. Keep your hips in line facing the front of the mat. And now the higher you are up on your fingertips, the easier this hamstring stretch will be, and you can always bend the front knee as much as you need to. Or you can start to fold over the front of this leg and just rest your head down, resting the neck, taking a deep hamstring stretch. From here, take your hands to the left side of the mat, start to walk them to the center. At the same time, swivel on this left knee so that the toes are facing behind you now, and the right foot has the toes facing the left. So come up just like this. We're going to take a side body stretch. So taking our right hand down our right leg, inhale the left arm up and over your ear. You can always take a little grip behind your head, taking your gaze up towards the sky, your chest towards the sky, and breathe into the side body stretch. Taking this left hand over towards the mat, lift up through the right leg. So your hand on the left side is in line with your left shoulder, and keep this right leg lifted just for a moment. Taking your right hand to your hip, finding some glute bounces. So we just want to bounce this leg 10 times. So we've got this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lower the foot, come back up, take another side body stretch. And then swivel yourself back into this half split pose. Toes now face forwards, up to the sky at the front, and the back toes face the back of the mat. Exhale down, taking that hamstring stretch once again. From here, bend the right leg and have your knees meeting each other. If this is not accessible, I'll give you another option, but we're going to do this first. Open up through both feet and sit between your feet. So this is cow face pose, Gomukhasana. We are sitting between both feet. Our knees are almost touching, but that's probably not possible for everyone. And you can always sit on a pillow or on a block if you need to here. It might help you get into the pose. It's quite intense on the hips, so just do what works for you. If this is not accessible to your body, then another variation of the legs is to simply just kneel. You can just take a simple kneeling position, and that's fine. Or you can take hero pose and open the feet out with your knees together and sit between the feet just like that. So your knees will be turned inwards and your heels on the outer edges of the thighs. So take the variation that works for you today. And then we're going to do the arms as well. So if you're in Gomukhasana, lift up through the left arm, bend it behind your spine. Maybe you can take a grip of the right fingertips. So you're taking your right hand back behind you, and perhaps you can take a grip of those fingers. If this is completely not possible for your body, then you can just take your right hand, place it behind your head, and gently guide your left hand a little further down, so pushing that left elbow a little further back. Don't put any strain on your neck, whichever position you choose. Rest your head. Together we're just going to take 5 deep breaths in this pose. Take one more deep breath wherever you are. Releasing the hands and then coming on forward, back onto your knees. Taking your hands forwards, just releasing that right leg from the left. into a tabletop. Take a cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, look up. Exhale, arch, tuck the chin in the tailbone. And then send your bum up and back, downward facing dog. Taking some deep breaths, 3 deep breaths in your downward facing dog, or you can take a child's pose here and take a rest if you need to. Now inhale, lifting this left leg up, step it as far forward between your hands as you possibly can. We're going to repeat that sequence on the other side. So we're in our low lunge now. On our left side, left foot forwards. Start to bend the back knee and sink down low into the hips. You can just stay here with your hands either on your knee, sending your hips forward. The closer the back heel, the back leg is to the front heel, the easier the pose will be. Or you can take your hands down to the mat and simply be here, breathing, allowing your body to become heavy. Or you can take it a step further, bending through this right leg, maybe taking a grip with the left hand and pulling it towards your bum. This is more intermediate. So take any of those variations and breathe deep. Now, if you've got a grip of the toes, release them slowly down, sending your hips back for a half split pose, half Hanumanasana. Front leg becomes straight, keeping your hips squared to the front of the mat. You can stay up on the fingertips, toes face the sky. You can straighten the leg or bend the knee, it's totally up to your body. And then maybe you can fold and rest your head. Just go as deep as you want to. Don't push your body too far, not until it's ready. Breathing deep. Coming up, taking the toes down to the ground and starting to move your hands to the right side of the mat, swiveling on the knee so that the front leg is now parallel to the top of the mat. You've got your toes behind you. These left toes are facing forwards to the right side of the mat. And we're going to take that side body stretch once again. So taking your left hand down your left leg, inhale the right arm up and over your head. Maybe rest your head in your palm, look to the sky. Tilting the chest to the sky, breathe deep. And then come on up, taking this right hand down to the mat, keeping it in line with your shoulder. And then this right leg, knee in line with the hip. We're going to lift up through this left leg, lift it in line with your hip. Taking your left hand to your hip as well, placing it and resting it there. And we're going to find those bounces. I'm going to count us down. 1, 2, 3, you can go as fast or as slow as you want. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then placing that foot back on the floor, taking your side body stretch once again. Okay, rotate yourself back to your half split pose so that your toes are back behind you. Your front toes are facing the sky. Once again, just exhale down, taking a stretch. Now bending the left leg and maybe finding Gomukhasana legs, bringing your knees close together, opening up through the feet and sitting back down between the heels. Or you can just kneel or take any other seated position. Or you can take hero pose once again if that felt good. Just opening, keeping the knees together, opening the heels outwards and sitting between the heels. So wherever you are, sit up tall through the spine. And let's get that arm stretch as well. So taking our right arm up and over the head this time. You can maybe find the full Gomukhasana pose by taking a grip of the left fingertips, taking the left hand back down behind you, bending the arm and finding those right fingertips. If that's not possible, just gently guide your right elbow a little further back, just up and over your head. So whichever variation, sit up tall and breathe deep. One more deep breath. And slowly, slowly release your hands. Find a little neck stretch before we move on. Just rolling your head from shoulder to shoulder. Maybe extending the arms out to the sides, locking the elbows and just rolling the head halfway from shoulder to shoulder. Rotating the hands. From here, we're going to come on forward to the knees once again, back into our tabletop, taking 3 cat-cows. So inhaling, dropping the belly, look up. Exhale, arch the spine, tuck the chin in the tailbone. 2 more. One more. And from here, make your way into a comfortable cross-legged position, any position of your choice. Let's take another couple of neck rolls, extend through the arms, lock the elbows, drop the shoulders away from the ears and just rolling the head from side to side, slowly, slowly and gently. Back to center, rolling the wrists. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. We're just going to take a very quick meditation together. We're not going to be here long, but you're more than welcome to stay as long as you like. So we're just going to sit up tall through the spine, taking the tops of the hands to the knees, allowing the palms to face the sky. Allow your breath to come back to a natural rhythm. Take notice of how your body feels now that you've done your practice, and how it may have felt before you got on your mat. Do you notice a difference? What is the difference? Do you feel a little lighter? Do you feel a little warmer? Now become aware of that tingling sensation in your palms and in your fingertips. The feeling of life and circulation running through your body. Now allow your senses to become aware of the sounds around you. Maybe you can hear the wind outside. Maybe you can hear some cars passing by. Maybe some quiet voices talking in the background. Now draw your senses inward, allowing everything else to become dull and quiet, and bring your awareness to your breath. Take notice of the inhale and of the exhale they bring, and the sensations that come with it as your chest rises and as it falls. Keep with this moment, stay present, allowing the thoughts to pass as they come, let them go. Taking a moment of silence together before we end our meditation. You can stay here meditating as long as you like, enjoying this moment, or end your practice with me by drawing your hands to your heart center with the eyes closed. Rub them together to create a nice warmth between your palms, and then place those warm palms over your eyelids. Taking a big inhale, exhale out the mouth. 2 more times. 1 more. Draw your hands to your heart center, bow your head. Thank you for allowing me to guide you today. Namaste. You can open your eyes if you're ready to end your practice, and I thank you very much for joining me on the mat. Please let me know in the comments how you got on, and guys, if you have any requests, let me know. Let me know where in the world you're practicing from as well. I'd love to know. Until next time, namaste.